All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner, Giants Nation Show, doing a film breakdown of Jaxson Dart's game versus Kentucky. Again, we're going chronologically. We've finally gotten to the SEC games. Ole Miss ended up losing this game 20-17. Dart went 18 for 27 with 260 passing yards and a touchdown. So we're going to go through it. They start off hot with a quick touchdown drive, as Ole Miss seems to do pretty often. But we'll go through all that. Again, like and subscribe. We're getting to the SEC part of the schedule now, right? We got that first 4 games out of the way, so let's get into it. Like and subscribe. First play, we're looking for this free release hitch at the bottom. Again, like Ole Miss runs a ton. If you watched the first 4 weeks, you saw a ton of those. We don't pull the trigger on this one. I think it'd be close, right? Like it's not as free of a release where Trey Harris is able to catch this and get upfield and get an easy, 11 yards or get a good spot. But I still feel like we should throw this ball here. Again, I mean, we've got that spacing. Like, that's there to me. For some reason, we just don't like it, so we don't throw it. Don't want to get a bang-bang play there. We get to the backside of this. They're running double slants, and it's just completely covered. Your receivers don't do really much of anything to separate here. So we get to our check. Good job. Get down to Parrish, the back. Let him get 6 yards. Good stuff, right? We get off the hitch. I don't think they should have, but you get off of it. Nothing else is open. Get to your check. Make it work. Next play, we're actually going to run the same play back to back. We're going to run these switch release all curls. Right, hit the slot receiver. Nice. But you see how we switch release here? Versus a too high coverage. And let's look down here. Right? Not open. Well, I mean, you could throw this, but like the inside receiver is not open. Now, but I want to look pre-snap because you have 2 receivers on each side. And then you have the back. So we have 4 for 2 here, and then 4 for 2, but 4 for 3 when you include the back. Right? So it makes sense. This is the side we're going to have that spacing. The linebacker blitzes. It's cover 4. Hit the slot receiver. Nice. Easy. Right? Easy money. We're not working hard for this. We're just making a play. So next play, we're going to run the exact same thing. Exact same hash. And this time it's the exact, we're in the same shell. I mean, look at it this way too. We've got 4 for 2 over here. We got 3 for 2. Right? And then when you include the back, we got 3 for 3. Why are we picking the rights? Again, I don't know exactly what he's being taught, but why are we picking this side? That's we're running the exact same concepts. I understand the spaces to this side, but why are we picking the right side of this pre-snap? Right? And Dart doesn't want to throw this. This linebacker gets him off of it. Again, this is some of the stuff that you got to be ready for. Quick game in the NFL is sometimes this ball needs to be out, right? It's a quick game concept. We get to the backside. Well, this is all covered pretty damn well. I mean, again, you could try and fire this ball in here. We end up scrambling and then finding our back for a few yards. So, good job making something out of it, but we picked the wrong side pre-snap. Not willing to pull the trigger on those other ones. And, get in the playmaker mode and make some yards, which is nice. But, again, just got to have a better pre-snap to post-snap operation. Next, we're going to throw this smoke down here to Trey Harris. Gets a first down out of it. Only need a yard. Good stuff. Next play. This play is the big one of this drive that leads to a 1-yard rushing touchdown. It's that wave concept that we've talked about with the post and the 2 ends digs that end up as crossing routes. Right? They end up crisscrossing with each other. So pre-snap, we're in a single high safety look. We want to get this route concept versus cover 3. So let's look. The post by Juice Wells, we're trying to take the top off the defense on that, right? We're just trying to raise that defense, make it, bring those safeties higher. And then against cover 3 is you're hoping that the post takes this deep third defender with him and opens up this part of the field here. Because as you're going to see, right, they're going to run these crisscrossing digs. Well, this dig is going to be running into either, this deep third corner or the safety. So this is the spot of the field that's going to be wide open, and it sure is. But Dart gets pressured and does a good job stepping up in this and finding Trey Harris, and Trey Harris does the rest to make this, a 40-yard play that gets him down to the 1-yard line. Right, he's reading that post that we saw from Juice Wells, right? That's what he's reading. He's reading that corner to stay with him. That corner stays with him, so he knows that play is there. He knows Trey Harris is there. And, they do a bad job on this stunt pickup. Step up, avoid that tackler. Again, knowing where your receiver is going to be, put it on him, and let Trey Harris do the rest. And then the next play, your running back runs it in for a 1-yard touchdown. Next drive ends up being a 3-and-out. First play, this 2x2 set. I think this is a different way for them to get into that sail concept, where it's inverted, where you have the 1 running the sail, and then the 2 running the vertical to clear space. It doesn't work. Right, because you get the underneath defender, the flat defender with the deep third defender here. It's just, if this post safety is playing his role, again, maybe what you're trying to do here is, well, not maybe, this is what you're trying to do here, is you're trying to play off this deep third defender, and if he plays deep on this, then you hit the sail. If not, we get a nice chunk play, turning this and like throwing this ball out here, kind of like that, that Chiefs versus the 49ers, Super Bowl wasp concept, similar but different. But the pressure by Deion Walker ruins this play, so Dart does a good job and get a few yards out of it. But it is like we've seen that sail concept a ton through 4 weeks, right? We know that Dart loves it. We've seen teams like Georgia Southern start to pick up on it a bit more. And so I think this is a way that Ole Miss is going to try and create more chunks out of that play. Again, good job, Deion Walker. Kills our offensive line. Just get some yards out of it. Ends up losing his footing, but you get some yards out of it. You run the ball the next play, then you get 3rd and 6. Here we are. Again, this is more about Jaxson Dart than the Ole Miss offense, but I'll start with this. This is that shock concept, and I said that Ole Miss, I don't think they run that. This is the first time I've seen them run that in 5 weeks. This is a New York Giants bread and butter concept. So to the boundary, what you're running is the running back is running, a little hitch out here. Your slot is running a fade, even though verse too high, you're supposed to bend this in. Instead of fading, you're supposed to release inside and bend it in. And then your tight end here has a choice route, right? This juke route. So, not a lot of spacing here. Right? Not great spacing here. But for Dart, when you get running this concept of verse too high, we've got to check the backside on this, right? We're looking at the backside of this. But now you're also running double slants into inside leverage, right? So these corners basically, they know that these slants are coming on the backside of this. But I do think Dart, pre-snap, we got to be looking to the backside of this concept first, even though that one isn't going to be there, and this ends up being ending up in a sack. But I just don't know why we're running this way on this part of the field against this coverage. Again, the tight end. Let's say that they were in a man coverage, right? 2-man, right? 2 deep safeties and man coverage. There's still really and 54 turns this into man coverage. There's still really bad spacing here on this. Ends up being a sack, and we talk about quarterbacks, sacks being a quarterback stat. They can be. Some of them are. This one to me is definitely not. This is on play calling and offensive line, of course. All right, next drive, we're going to start with the free access hitch down bottom. Easy enough. Get some yards. Next play. You seen it. You saw it. Get it done. If you're just now starting to watch these, we don't spend time breaking down the free access hitch after free access hitch after free access. Next play, you got this 8-yard draw. Again, they've got a little option on it where if they're really playing off, you could throw these hitches, but they're not. Gets a good 8 yards out of it. I mean, watch the way helmet gets knocked off. I mean, we are dealing with another psycho runner. All right, it gets you fired up at times. And there's also times where this is just unnecessary. But we're dealing with, going into 3 guys. What are we? I understand what we're trying to accomplish, right? And part of it does fire me up. But also, if they're dealing with a QB who had injury after injury, it does get you a little more worried than it does fire you up more times than not. Next play, we got the hitch, fade, dig, curl, right? It's kind of an isolation stuff they like versus man coverage. They've had the hardest time getting this going. So you get pressure on this. But I think they got so used to not throwing the hitch on this that for some reason we get off of it. Again, this is where I don't know how they're teaching this or what they're teaching on this. But this has seemed like to me a pure progression, a 1, 2, 3, 4 progression. And they seem to run it only when they have these man coverage looks. And that would be 1 right up here up top. And for some reason we don't throw that. We get the pressure, end up scrambling and throwing away. But that hitch is there. And we see the blitz in this too, right? So you want to throw into the pressure. Waiting for this dig to get open backside. It's obviously not there yet. Ends up scrambling, throwing the ball away. But that's just something where that concept, man, is, if you're watching these other breakdowns, we've rarely run that well and cleanly. Next play. We've got, it's like this flood / drive. First cover 3. We end up throwing the post on the overthrow. But they're going to run this where both these guys are working from the backside. All right, so we kind of have a 1, 2, 3, a 3 level, high to low, flood concept. We get it versus cover 3. And this is also kind of like a Yankee concept, the post and the over. Now, I understand that this safety triggers. And maybe I'm judging the fact that they overthrew it. But this crosser is there every day of the week. But we are reading that post safety. We want to get aggressive. That post safety just shows that. And we're definitely getting this ball behind him. And we just overthrow it by 5 yards. So again, you like the aggression. It's just we gotta hit this throw. We missed that one pretty badly. And again, as you see, as we get into these SEC games, right? We saw how he completed the deep ball like time after time. The SEC games, man, it seems very hit and miss. So, but next play we're gonna run the exact same thing, right? Exact same thing. This time we end up getting pressure and scrambling. And you get it versus cover 4. If you want to get really aggressive, you stand in there in this pressure and you throw this throw this post. But again, I'm not advising that. But ends up getting 13 yards on this. Originally, I was a little bit being like, we'll get this ball to the tight end, right? You have this blitz. You know where the pressure is coming from. But then again, you got 6'8" Deion Walker coming down the pipe and probably not able to get that ball over him. So he gets, Bad offensive line play, you get 13 yards out of it. You live with it. Next play, we're going to have these two ends versus man coverage. And this is where some of the eyes go down stuff gets you. We'll see it from his point of view. I mean, this tight end, despite pushing off, is winning versus man coverage. And this is the throw that we can make. Instead, we look to scramble. Or we don't stay patient on it. Right, like we're blocked up fairly well here. And I understand that this linebacker, the way he blitzes in, looks like he's going to slide off here. But we can reset here. If we just work in the pocket here and slide, I mean, look what gets open. Right, and again, this is third down, right? So it doesn't hurt to sit there and hang in there and take a sack. Instead, we end up scrambling around and taking a sack anyways. But for some reason, we just get off of this early because of the pressure and just looking to see if we get the curl up top here. End up scrambling and taking the sack, and they end up having to punt the ball. Next drive, we're going to take a shot up down here at the ball in the juice wells. Out and up. Again, this is not a terrible ball, but you see we just miss where this ball kind of flutters out on him. Let me move this. And misses to that inside shoulder. I got a podcast coming out tomorrow where me and Dan Schneider talk about this. We're open, right? Put this ball up the sideline. Put this ball right here, and we might have a walk-in touchdown or a run-in touchdown. And again, we're not talking about like throwing this ball 65, 70 yards, right? We're throwing this ball from the 10. We've got a very clean pocket to step up into this. I mean, this ball doesn't even, we're not even hitting this ball 50 yards. And this ball's just missing to the inside shoulder. And again, it just seems like to me that these sideline throws that around 50 yards, they just seem to die out a bit. Right, where you have a receiver who's, he's running open up the sideline. Instead, he's having to come back to the ball. And hell, a great receiver could, pull that ball in there. But that's still, we want better than that. We're going to get to, 3 plays from now. We're going to see something very similar on the right sideline. This play is a design throwback to the running back trying to get him wide open. I'm hoping we were just throwing this ball away because if not, it's pretty brutal. But it's this play action again. We're trying to feel like we're trying to get everyone flowing to this side and then throw this ball back to the running back and try and get like a free, chunk play here. They cover it up well. There's nothing here that we're thrown to anyways. I'm hoping that we're throwing this ball away because it ends up out of bounds, but pretty damn close. But I'm hoping this wasn't a panic like this is designed to go here. I'm just going to throw it because that's pretty damn dangerous. That ball ends up getting out of bounds. And you live and you probably tell your coach you're throwing it away regardless. Next play. Here, we're going to have the 1 and 2. We're going to run clear outs. The number 3 is running an out route. We scramble. We get 9 yards on this. But again, what this is where I'd want to no, why aren't we throwing this? Right, your read is essentially this player right here. Does this player stay with eyes on the QB playing a zone, or does he turn his hips and his shoulders and run with the fade? Because if he turns his hips and runs with the fade, then this is like an automatic throw right here. Unless number 4 is playing with was just cheating on the route. Why aren't we throwing this ball right here? And for some reason, we just get off of this. And hey, we end up scrambling and getting some yards, but this is the throw. 10 times out of 10. Throw it. Throw it. Right? And we're not even like seeing it through, right? We're bailing from a clean pocket. Like it'd be one thing if you saw it through and you're a little hesitant and 4 has great coverage on this. Again, glad we got the yards on this 3rd and 10, but there's just times where we get off of something that I just don't know why. Again, cool, got the yards needed, but still there. All right, so now we're gonna do that hitch and go up top. All right, go, and just receivers left to fight back for the ball. All right, so you see the 1, 2, 3 hitch and go. It's there, right? That's what we're looking for. It's not wide ass open, but that's what we are looking for on this. And we've got it. We pull the trigger. And it's one thing to miss on the outside, underthrow a little bit on the outside shoulder. But again, we consistently end up missing these balls on the inside shoulder where the receiver has to go back through the corner. And I get that's the best way to get pass interferences, but we're not playing for pass interferences. And again, we're not talking about a 70-yard throw off your, back foot. We're talking about clean pocket from the 20 to the other 30. I mean, again, 50-yard throw, and it just seems to like fade out on them. Now, footwork-wise, we can step up into this throw. But that's just something that like you can't keep having that happen because those opportunities in the NFL do not come anywhere near as often as they come at Ole Miss, and you got to take advantage of them. Next play, 3rd and 8. Mesh versus man. He makes the right read on this, just the right read of not getting him the yards needed. They have the sit running out here. But again, you get mesh versus man coverage. This is exactly what you're looking for. I don't know why we're running mesh on 3rd and 8 instead of like a 3rd and 4. But Dart does a good job. He finds him. It just ends up being 4 yards short. Right? Makes the exact right read. Ends up being short. And then end of the half, we'll go kind of quickly through this. There's about 35, 40 seconds left on the clock here. Doesn't really like any of the options here. Scrambles. Gets himself a handful of yards. And then the next play, we've got enough time to get, 3-4 plays in. We get it versus this blitz. For me, just throw this, right? Throw this. Instead, we end up trying to run up through the pocket and take a sack. But even then, you're running out. It's not like you have like man coverage guys back to the ball blitz and you see the hole to run up through. This is zone. This is a prevent zone coverage. Just throw this. Right? Just simply throw this ball. Let him get it. Try and get to the sideline. And then you get 2 or 3 more plays to try and get in the field goal range. And then instead you end up taking the sack, trying to do too much, and you end up, just going into the half without any points. All right, so we start off the third quarter, down 3, 10-7. We get a free access hitch up top. Juice Wells drops it. Come on, Juice Wells. I believe in you, man. You're my pick for the UDFAs to make the roster, especially if the little Jordan Humphrey didn't got cut before UDFA rookie minicamp. Next play. This one has got some layers to it, but it's why don't we throw the ball type of play here, right? We end up reversing the field, get 5-6 yards out of it. But let's break it down. Let's break it down from the concept first. A form of 4 verts, right? It seems like, right? You have this outside receiver hitch, or the running back. We have a vertical up top, and then these two are both working vertically. And you get it versus cover 3, so ideally you'd want to hit the seams. right? And maybe that's why they're running it as the number 2 is vertical, the number 3 is vertical, and not the number 1, so they don't match it. But regardless, right now we can throw this ball. Right, we can throw this ball into the seam. Now, the fact that the tight end ends up getting rerouted on here, does that mess with us a little bit? Maybe. But this is still a throw we can make here. Right? This, against cover 3, it's there every day of the week. Throw this ball to your tight end in the seam. Instead, we run up in a clean pocket. But guess what? It opens up more, right? We see Dart, put his arm into that, right? He hitches into that. Now it's definitely there, right? Throw this ball right here, open. That's what he's looking at. Instead, we scramble and have to do all this. And again, it gets some decent yardage out of it. But I showed you the first part. I mean, why aren't we throwing this here? Why are we deciding that we need to reverse field? Right, we're not talking about like, are we going to throw the ball or get the 10 easy yards in front of us? I mean, we're reversing field here. Next play, free access hitch down here at the bottom to Trey Harris. Seen it, saw it, done. Next play, we're going to run a smoke to Trey Harris at the bottom. See it, saw it, next play. And then now we get a 3rd and 3, and we run this really bad draw. Now, I don't blame Dart for not throwing this here. Defense is in on it. So we run this draw, and we end up losing 4 yards and having to kick a field goal. There's just nowhere for Dart to go here. I mean, filled, bounce it out. There's nowhere for Dart to go here. Unfortunately, maybe they should just ran a regular play instead of a QB draw there, because I understand, again, versus this tight front, right, with the inside, the 4 eyes. That's just not something I want to run draw against, because it's hard to make either of these ends declare, and neither do. Both are playing inside the tackle, so I don't love the call there, but it is what it is. All right, next drive. We're going to start it out with a smoke. See it, saw it, next play. Next play is probably my favorite throw from this game from Jaxson Dart. Right, there's this like miraculous throw that will get the highlights, but this is my favorite throw. You get versus cover 3. And we've got this deep out by Trey Harris. This is great timing. This is pretty damn good accuracy. Harris has got to wait a little bit on this. But ball's out now, right? Ball is out now. Again, Harris has to wait like a quarter of a second for it. And he's able to get upfield and create a big play. This is also like where Trey Harris is one of those receivers where it's like, man, anytime I saw you pressed up, it just wasn't pretty. But he can do some nice things when you give him some space to operate in. But again, good throw by Dart. Read that post field safety. We've got the out route. We know where we're going. Get it on him. Money. With little pressure coming down the pipe. Good shit. Next play, we're going to throw this smoke down here at the bottom, and Trey Harris ends up fumbling it. So you don't get any points out of that drive. But you seen it, saw it, done. All right, so next drive. We're going to have that pure progression thing where we got the hitch, fade, in, or dig, curl. Again, I've yet to see this play just go smoothly. So first, I don't know what we're tagging on the front side of this. Why Dart looks at the front side of this at all, right? Because the hitch is there if you want to throw it. The slot, tight end fade, despite the fact that he releases inside, is there too if you want to pull the trigger on that. So I just don't understand why we're even checking the front side of this. I don't know if it's just like, man, they're just beating into him that like, hey, get the backside dig on this. But you get it versus cover 3. And this is not there. The curl's not there. So our eyes go down, try and run, end up checking the ball down. I mean, if we're not going to hit the front side of this from Dart, and again, we got 2nd and 6 here. If you're not throwing this, don't put your eyes down. Look at how the defense is sagging off. Get this ball to your running back. And again, he ends up getting there. But we don't need this. Just get the ball to your running back. They've got these underneath defenders. You're not going to turn that into some great big run. Just get the ball to your running back and let him make a play. Next play. We got this vertical on the outside to Trey Harris versus cover 4. Just misses outside. This is not a great route by Trey Harris either. Again, versus cover 4. These safeties are occupied by the dig right here. For Trey Harris. Sorry, fast forward and rewinding. We release inside, which we never really love on those verticals. Gets slowed up a bit here. Again, this is a miss. You got to see where you're. Right, we're just kind of throwing this ball and not seeing where he's at. And maybe he's expecting Trey Harris to release outside. It's not the best ball tracking either, but I talked about like the misses on the inside shoulder. We had that overthrow on the post. I think that plays the least of them. And then the next play we're going to make up for it. We're going to have a cover 1 blitz. Trey Harris in this slot slant. He's going to take it and house it. Let's go through it. We see blitz, we see pressure. We know we got to get that ball out, right, with good timing. Trey Harris is running the slant. Again, this is one of those things about Trey Harris, man. He's able to win leverage despite the corner cheating that leverage. I mean, we're in our throwing motion, getting the ball out of the break. Perfect accuracy. Versus man coverage again. You're going to blitz. You're going to leave the middle of the field open. Take advantage of it. And Trey Harris does the rest. Again, see the pressure. Get yourself a throwing window. Bam. Put it on him. And then Trey Harris is able to do the rest, and you go into the 4th quarter with a 17-13 lead. So I talk about 4th quarter woes for Jaxson Dart. We ended up with a couple of 3 and outs to start this 4th quarter for Ole Miss. The 3 and again, I'm critical. These 2 3 and outs are not his fault. First play, we get 2 runs in a row, so we end up with 3rd and 6. We're gonna motion slot receiver Caden Lee behind us, and this is a design. This is where you're going type of throw. Right, you're essentially reading this player. And you're running like a form of a stick concept. This, they don't pass this off. If it'd be one thing if this corner stayed in the flat, then maybe he's getting off to the backside of this, but still there's not very many good options. He throws the ball where he's supposed to do it. And unfortunately, this safety sees it from a mile away and meets receiver, has a hell of a form tackle, and ends up, forcing them to punt, right? You end up in a 3 and out, right? That's not Jaxson Dart's fault. So next drive, 1st down, let's get a free access hitch down here at the bottom. Beautiful, love it. Seen it, saw it. Next play, end up running the ball the next play, and so now we have a 3rd and 3, and Lane Kiffin decides we're gonna get in this pony back. We're going to run this fake pitch, QB counter, and it is not going to work. Or QB power. Again, Dart's not a running back. I'm not expecting him to like see this crease and cut off of it. I mean, he's just going where it is. He gets tackled by 4 or 5 different guys, and you end up having to punt it, and you get this down 3 with 2.5 minutes left. In the first play we run as a draw, and it ends up losing yards. Again, I don't understand why we're running it against these tight fronts. Nothing Dart can do there. So now we got 2nd and 11. We're going to run those switch release hitches that we saw earlier in the game on those first couple on the first drive of the game. And this is good bounce by the corner here. This ball's low and outside. Now, if you want to miss anywhere on this one, it is low and outside, so this corner can't make a play on it. And it's not great spacing here with this corner. I mean, this is fairly good timing, too. I mean, again, you could, in a perfect world, be having this ball out now. But just good play by the corner. Ball's low and outside. Now we got 3rd and 11. So 3rd and 11, we're going to run this inverted wrap, right? So we're going to have to dig here. And we're going to have pressure in our face, but this ball's going to end up low and incomplete. And this is versus cover 3. Right, they show blitz and then back out this linebacker. This is the window you want to throw through. This is the window Dart does throw through. Right, the cover 3 corner. And we just miss low. This ball, with this pressure in our face by this linebacker. Right, there's not much I'm breaking down on this. We're obviously, not really stepping into this throw with the pressure. But ball ends up in the dirt. Harris could have made like a really nice play, but it ends up incomplete. They reviewed it a few times. We got pressure, I know. Get that ball up. Get that ball up and you got a first down. Now here comes that miracle 4th and 11 I've been talking about. So you have this deep curl, which is where he's trying to get to. He's not. And then, oh my God, safety, make a play if you're a Kentucky fan. So 4th and 11. We're looking for this deep curl. We should get off of this quicker because you see the way the safety's playing this. I mean, they're just not letting Trey Harris beat you on that. Right, so we get off that ball quicker. So we check the backside of this, though he does. It's not there. I mean, again, maybe you try and throw this dig to Caden Lee, but if you watch this is a mess. I mean, guys running into each other. So Dart scrambles, and rightfully so, and then throws up a prayer, and oh my gosh, it is answered. Again, we're looking for Harris on that deep curl. It's not there. We check the backside. That's not there. Scramble. Now, if we really want to nitpick on this, it's like, hey, maybe throw this. This is probably a little bit of an easier throw here. But we throw this ball on the run, in the air, falling out of it. I mean, arms waving back. And thankfully, this safety just mistimes this. Or doesn't miss time, just cannot track the ball. Tight end goes up, high point. And that would be a play that I feel like got shared a lot more if this game didn't end the way it did. So now you're at the Kentucky's 34 with 1st and 10, and you got some time now. Right, so we're gonna run like a post wheel with the outside receiver and the running back on the rail, and we just miss. Right, we get this versatile look that we want. Right, we put our running back out in motion. You get it versus cover 4. This outside corner stays with Trey Harris. This safety's here with Trey Harris. We've got the rail. We've got our running back on a linebacker. We've got the matchup that we were seeking out when we called this play in. Got exactly what we want. and we just overthrow it. And it just seemed like this game, the deep ball was off, whether it was overthrows, underthrows, just misses. But, I mean, we had our back. This should have been game right here for Ole Miss. And then instead we got second down and 10 at the 34. So game's not over. Again, down by 3. This isn't the best field goal range, but we can try a kick here. So, again, getting off of this, right, we're looking front side on this. I mean, it's once again, it's like that pure progression play. This time where the outside receiver is running a vertical. But, you have the backside dig, the curl. Now, if we wanted to slide in this and try and throw this curl, that could be something that we went at to, but we have pressure raining down on us. So we scramble, which I think is a perfectly fine part, especially you don't want to take a sack. You don't want to get stuck trying to, hit this route and you end up taking a sack and getting yourself out of field goal range. But you end up taking the sack anyways and really screwing yourself here. I mean, and what are we looking at here? This needs to be a ball that we throw away. We're looking back at the middle of the field. Right, this receiver stumbles. You still have this safety here. You're not making this throw. Again, it's second down and 10. What are we trying to accomplish? I mean, when we see this, coming down on us, we need to get this ball out of bounds. Instead, we take a sack. You just can't take that sack. That's unreal, man. That's the type of play that you get questioned about all week long and gets remembered. Get rid of this ball. You're not making this throw with this safety here. If you do, hooray. This is not the play to try and make. So now you're at the 37. You're at a 54-yard field goal here, and you get bailed out. Deion Walker jumps off sides. You get a free play. All right, 3rd and 13, you get the free play. Maybe we can still hit this right here, but instead we look to the backside. We're trying to get the vertical. We scramble. Right, the vertical's not there. We're not making that throw. You could try and attempt that throw again with it being a free play. Right, since you decided to not just throw the pass that was designed to be thrown to and it's open. But I understand it's a free play and you're looking to get more than a 4th and 3, right? That still keeps you in field goal range. So we scramble. And we get some yards. And we pop up the ball. And again, I understand he knows that this is a free play, but this is reckless, man. We know that this is not getting us what we want. We're replaying the down. Again, that's reckless ball, man. And so then you get a 3rd and 9. You're trying to hit this backside curl. It's not there. This isn't there. You get man coverage versus two-man coverage, and just nothing is there. Right? You run this inverted wrap down here. Safety's there. That's not there. We get to the backside of this. None of this is there. So we check down the running back. We don't wait and sit there. Good job. Back gets to the 32-yard line, but you end up missing a field goal. So, again, this is certainly not Jaxson Dart's worst fourth quarter. But I don't think this is his best ball at the end of the game. Now, again, Ole Miss in this game overall, I hated some of the things that they were doing. I think you could tell by the way I described some of the play calls. So, Ole Miss's first loss of the season, 20-17. We're going to keep getting through the SEC schedule. So some things on Dart here that, I don't like. Some things from Lane Kiffin I really don't like. But overall, a loss for Jaxson Dart and Ole Miss. Like and subscribe as we get into more of the SEC schedule. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, let's go Big Blue.